It was a freezing winter evening in New York City. Snowflakes slowly fell from the sky, covering the streets in a quiet white blanket. The city was busy as always, but inside a small corner cafe called Sunrise Cafe, things were calm. Emily Parker wiped the last table near the window. Her shift had already lasted 12 hours. She was tired, hungry, and her feet hurt from standing all day. But Emily never complained, because she had a reason to keep going. Her mother was sick. Every week the hospital bills kept growing. Medicine, rent, electricity, everything depended on Emily's small salary. She sighed and looked at the clock. 10:47 p.m. Almost done, she whispered. The cafe owner shouted from the kitchen. Emily, don't forget to clean table 7. Yes, Mr. Harris, she replied politely. Emily walked toward the table. And that's when she noticed something. A black leather wallet lying under the chair. She picked it up carefully. The wallet looked expensive, very expensive. When she opened it, her eyes widened in shock. Inside were thick stacks of cash. Hundreds of dollar bills. Her hands trembled slightly as she counted quickly. Nearly $5,000. Emily froze. $5,000 could solve many problems in her life. Her mother's medicine, 2 months of rent, food, warm clothes. For a brief moment, a dangerous thought entered her mind. No one would know. But then she remembered something her mother always told her when she was a child. Emily, the world may be unfair, but your heart should never become unfair too. Emily slowly closed the wallet. No, she whispered. This isn't mine. Just then, the cafe door slammed open. A tall man rushed inside. His expensive suit was slightly messy and his breathing was heavy, like he had been searching everywhere. Excuse me, he said loudly. Everyone looked at him. Did anyone find a wallet here? Emily stepped forward. Sir, is this yours? The man's eyes widened. Yes, that's it. He grabbed the wallet quickly and opened it. He checked the money, the credit cards, the documents. Everything was still there. The man looked at Emily with surprise. You didn't take anything. Emily shook her head. Of course not. The man stared at her carefully. You know how rare that is. Emily smiled softly. My mom says honesty is something you should never sell. The man chuckled slightly. Young lady, do you know who I am? Emily shrugged. No, sir. A man sitting nearby suddenly whispered. That's Daniel Carter. The entire cafe went quiet. Daniel Carter, the billionaire CEO of Carter Global Industries. One of the richest men in the country. Emily's eyes widened. Oh, I didn't know. Daniel smiled. That might be a good thing. He pulled $500 from the wallet. Take it. Emily shook her head immediately. No thank you. Daniel raised his eyebrow. You're refusing money. I didn't return it for a reward. For a moment Daniel just stared at her. Then he slowly nodded. Interesting. He walked out of the cafe. But before leaving, he looked back once more. Almost like he was trying to remember her face. Emily thought that would be the last time she ever saw him. But she was very wrong. The next morning, Emily arrived at the cafe early. But something unusual caught her attention. A black luxury car was parked outside. 2 men in suits stood beside it. One of them approached her. Are you Emily Parker? Her heart started racing. Yes. Our boss would like to see you. Inside the car sat Daniel Carter. Emily felt nervous. Sir, did something happen? Daniel smiled slightly. No. Actually, something interesting happened. He showed her a tablet. Security camera footage from the cafe. Emily watched herself picking up the wallet. Looking at the money. Then closing it again. Daniel leaned forward. You had every chance to take the money. But you didn't. Emily shrugged quietly. I was just raised that way. Daniel folded his hands. In my world, honesty is extremely rare. Then he said something unexpected. I want to offer you a job. Emily blinked. A job? Yes. As my personal assistant. Emily almost laughed. Sir, I'm a waitress. Daniel replied calmly. Exactly. You're not corrupted by money yet. Emily didn't know what to say. Her entire life might change. But suddenly Daniel opened the wallet again. And his expression suddenly changed. His face turned pale. Emily noticed immediately. What happened? Daniel slowly pulled out something from the wallet. A very old photograph. A picture of a little girl. Emily leaned closer. And felt her heart stop. The girl in the photo looked exactly like her. Daniel whispered quietly. That's impossible. Emily felt confused. What do you mean? Daniel stared at her. That photo was taken 20 years ago. He took a deep breath. That girl was my daughter. Emily's world started spinning. My parents told me I was adopted. Daniel slowly looked at her. His voice trembled. Emily, I think you might be my daughter. The truth. A DNA test was arranged. The wait lasted 7 long days. Both of them barely slept. Emily kept thinking about her childhood. The orphanage. The adoption. The missing memories. Finally the results arrived. Daniel opened the envelope. His hands were shaking. He read the paper slowly. Then tears filled his eyes. He looked up. It's confirmed. Emily felt her chest tighten. You are. He paused. My daughter. Emily burst into tears. For years she had been alone. Working hard. Struggling every day. But one honest decision changed everything. Daniel hugged her tightly. You returned my wallet. But you also returned the most important thing I ever lost. My daughter.